So I want to read the old one. It's a named tweet, and then I'm going to read the new one, and we'll talk about it from there. This is called Robotany. Robotany. Number 1, automation is inevitable. Number 2, automation is here. And number 3, automation is okay. But who controls it? Human beings. Human beings control automation. Corporations, you say? Corporations control automation? Corporations are human beings. Automation is a tool. Automation can be delayed. It's a free market economy, and even robots need customers. We control automation. So automation, of course, is the topic here, but I'm going to go onto my phone. My phone here, it's not in dark mode right now, but we're going to go ahead and find that tweet. Robotany, version 2. You see that there? That's dark mode for you. Makes it easier. Robotany version 2.0. Number 1, automation equals inevitable. Number 2, automation equals ancient. Who controls it? Human beings. Corporations, you say? Corporations are human beings. Automation is a tool that can be adjusted. In a free market economy, even robots need customers. Who controls automation? We do. We do. I think it's time for today's sponsor, Diet Canada Dry Ginger Ale. It keeps me from getting parched and helps you enjoy the video more because everyone loves a good ad. Check it out. Diet Canada Dry. Good. So automation is not just inevitable, it's already here. And I think it's okay. The first tweet originally said it was okay. And the next one, we took the okay out because, frankly, automation is okay. Automation has been here since the dawn of technology. Man, since the invention of the wheel, has been automating the world, making it easier in various ways, creating processes and having them set, just streamlining the entire user experience. If you were to believe in simulation theory, man, since the dawn of intelligence, the dawn of technology, when he and she first discovered tools, just like in 2001 A Space Odyssey, we have been developing, moving into the future and making life a series of processes, of things that are no longer manual labor, but it's just additional layers of not just simplification to make life simpler, but just to make it more productive, more efficient. So automation isn't, we can talk about automation in the sense of, well, now we have AI doing things, and now we have complex machines doing things. We can think about it in the sort of Andrew Yang for president sort of way, the fear of self-driving trucks taking over industries and jobs, automation versus jobs. We can think of it in that frame. And that's kind of the frame that I was driving at with Robotany. So automation has been here for thousands of years, and of course over time it does accelerate. There is an acceleration element to automation. The more advances you make, the more things you set aside and you develop processes for, and you stack and stack and stack your innovations and your efficiencies, and you develop systems that are extremely precise in what they do, but efficient, of course. But who controls automation? So there's this sense that there's an inertia. There's a thing called the slippery slope fallacy. Now, in certain circumstances, slippery slope can be a valid point. It can be a valid thing to say. Well, if you allow this, there's a likelihood that you'll allow something else down the line, which may allow something else. But it's not, the future in this case is not set. That's why it's called the slippery slope fallacy, which states that if something has inertia, it will not stop. There is no way to stop the inertia. The truth is, though, when a counterforce comes in and stops the inertia, that is the end of the slippery slope. You're no longer slipping down the slope. There is a counterforce to balance things out and make sure they don't continue indefinitely into infinity and eternity. So automation falls under the same rule of physics. There is a counterforce to automation. Automation isn't going to just take over all the industries and unemploy every single human being in America and beyond. No, human beings, of course, they have a benefit. There is a benefit to increasing automation for the business owners. Obviously, it's better to automate things, to save money, to make the bottom line even better for those corporations and those individual shareholders. Like, we obviously have a lot of systems in place and factors in play that make automation incentivized, of course. But at the end of the day, we are still responsible. We are still in control. And it is up to those in power, those that have the means, that have the production facilities, that have the businesses, to make these choices. But it is a choice. It's not just endless inertia towards automation and unemployment. So corporations are human beings, and automation is a tool. Automation is just a tool. It's to help us move forward in this world and make our lives, once we automate certain things, like computers in general, robots, computers in general, are automated calculation machines, trillions upon trillions upon trillions of operations per second that you don't have to manually write on a piece of paper or use a calculator. The computer does it for you. And the code, it's all automation all the way down. All the code is automated. You just put something in, you get something out. Input, output, I/O. And so automation is a tool. Some people are using it in the pejorative sense because they're saying, well, automation's going to make us lose our jobs. All the jobs will be done by machines across the world. And that is a reasonable fear. There is reason for alarmism. But I like to say it is, again, the choice of human beings that decide how much automation there should be. Automation works better in certain areas and not so well in others. Excuse me. So automation can be delayed. If the time isn't right for an idea, or, if maybe perhaps we need to create we have a situation where we have to make a path forward for those that might be negatively impacted by automation. We need time to get these jobs, to get training, to get education. We need time to make sure the human beings, the human resources, are not being subjugated by computers or suppressed or hurt or harmed. There should be a benefit to all human beings when automation, slowly takes over, as it were. We should be focusing on the human experience and putting corporations and money second. At the end of the day, what is the value of life? We should be focusing on that. So I say here, it's a free market economy, and even robots need customers. So you can't just, this is the thrust really, you can't really just let computers take over all these industries, take over all these jobs, and then go, well, that's it. The corporations have employed nothing but robots. What happens to those corporations? Who's buying? Who's buying? Are robots buying? Perhaps they are. Perhaps general AI comes out and robots start buying things on their own. Hell, they're already doing it. Look at the stock market. You have automated trades. You have conditional trades. You have conditional things that happen in various computer systems, depending on the scenario that a computer processor finds itself in. But robots need customers in a free market economy. The robots need, ultimately, what are they working for? Who are they working for? They're working for us. We control their fate, ultimately. You can't just have everything be in a vacuum and, oh, we're going to let automation go out of control. It's gone haywire. We've done too much automation and the people aren't happy. What's going to happen? Are the robots going to start their own civilization? Or is that company going to face some trouble on the free market and humans are going to make it go out of business? What's more likely? Leave me a comment below with your thoughts and observations on that. So, I'm going to look at the Robotany version 2.0 tweet just to make sure that there aren't any other points I wanted to make on this. So automation is inevitable. Automation is ancient, as we covered. Who controls it? Human beings. And human beings are corporations. Corporations are human beings. It's all the same. I'm not sure if that's the case in terms of legally. I think there was this, there was a law, was it back in like 2012 or something, where they said corporations are people? I'm not talking about that, but ultimately the makeup of a corporation are all human beings. So automation is a tool that can be adjusted. It can be adjusted. There isn't just inertia. There are counter forces that allow you to decide where to A, B, what decisions to make, and where to stop it, where to start it, where to stop it, where to start it. In a free market economy, even robots need customers. Put that on a t-shirt. And we control automation. So we should bear in mind that it's not some boogeyman. It's not some boogeyman out there that can't be stopped. But it is just a tool that we have to harness and use carefully. And as I said in my tweet, life's a highway. We should consider other drivers along the way.